Nothing ready. Hello. Can you hear me? I'll check. Hello. 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 Okay. Okay. Hello. Yes, and about the channel in general. I plan to soon. There just hasn't been much reason to use it in the past few episodes. Plus, don't know how to set up for a live stream. Add springs. Take out the air restrictor, although don't do that unless you're going to be rebarreling it, or if it's an old blaster. In the newer ones, it can make them break eventually, but it's worth it for the extra power boost. You could try realigning the internals a bit. Other than that, you could put a metal rod through, I'm assuming this is a breach blaster, through both the breach and the front of the blaster. The metal rod perfectly aligned in the center. That way it will not catch on it. Also check if if you replace the breach, there's some burrs. If there's some burrs inside the barrel, if you've replaced, there's a breach. It's like a real gun. With the, if you've used a real gun, they close it so that there is no way for air to get out except through one way. Since the bullet moves is the thing of least resistance, it will move out there with great speed, whichever way you're pointing it. Was the best Nerf gun of time? My opinion, Nerf, like official Nerf, it would have to be. I really like the Apollo. I'll just put it. This is my favorite one. Don't use it much anymore because I got a 30 round version, but it's a really fun blaster. But best one that I've seen would have to be the Nemesis. Holds 100 rounds, is rival, and is extremely powerful. And how do you realign it? So you just open up your blaster, unscrew it. Unscrew it and then put it back into place. Fiddle around with it while it's inside the blaster. Add some lubricant. What else can you do? Well, other than that, not sure. You could just test a few times. Replace the parts if they're not working. do a bit of sanding, maybe even add some more stuff on it with epoxy putty or regular epoxy. Or if you've got a 3D printer at home, you could use one of those instead. Yeah, Rival is 3D printer will do for your alignment. That will you can print new parts. So you design a part and then slip it on. For example, I'll use this blaster for an example again. This probably isn't the same thing, but this rail is all 3D printed. So you can design and print anything on there. You can probably even look on Thingiverse and it will help out. If not, watch some YouTube tutorials and you can design your own pieces eventually. And is Rival better than N-Strike? No. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes. Oh, even when the N-Strikes are modded. Okay, without mods, Rival is far better in every way. More power, more accuracy, usually faster rate of fire as well. N-Strike, the old ones, the best they had was the Stampede, I would think, for full auto. And it was not fast. Comparatively, you could probably get this is when fully upgraded. You could probably only get max 10 darts per second. Most and Rival, you can probably get seen 20. So you're not going to get much more. But when it's modded, you can probably go past that Rival because Rivals have a limit in how far they can fire before they start to float, as in go just off into the distance and just sort of curve to the side. With a brass breech and spring upgrade and a scar barrel, or even if you want to go HPA, then you can make your N-Strike better than the Rival. So it's really just a matter of materials, time, and money. Tutorials. I haven't done any tutorials for 3D printing or Nerf yet. I plan to do some in the future. Tutorials for 3D printing. There was this really nice. There was a couple guys that were really good. Mostly, I don't even use YouTube for the 3D printing. I use a website. It is a lot more effective. I found there was this when I was trying to create characters, and they usually have files as well on Thingiverse. So it's a website. And tutorials for Nerf. I haven't done them, but I have done some. I've done some build videos as you've seen before, and there are some on YouTube. I would recommend looking at Captain Xavier. He does some really nice tutorials, and he's got this thing called Monday Mod Tips. If you're trying to find out what's the best blaster and how much power you can get out of one, I would go and check Bradley Phillips. He's a Nerf sniper. He rarely misses. Although he's started to miss a bit more, I think he's had less practice recently. Okay. Good choice of song, I guess. Not sure if that's lyrics. Links. Yeah, I'll just go and get them. There you go. Should have just popped up on the chat that you've got. That would be Captain Xavier's channel. Is Drac any good? Yes and no. So lately he hasn't done any good mod guides, and he does do a lot of the same thing over and over again. He hasn't built many original builds, so I would say if you want original builds, stick with Captain Xavier, Walcom, Beret, especially Beret. He's so funny. He is good. He's great for reviews, but lately his mod guides have started to go meh. So you can either order them online from some place like Blaster Tech. They'll come up as soon as you look them up. And F-Strike, Nerf Turf springs make the best springs, but in turn they are a little bit expensive. You can also get them from Bunnings if you really want to, but watch out a bit for them. They're harder to tell because they're not made for Nerf blasters, obviously, so you're not going to get the exact right size. Blaster Tech, it's a website, and I've used them before. They've got great electronics, and their springs are pretty good. So it sandpaper just use varying degrees of roughness, so grit. And the as for the paint, just open the blaster up first, move everything that's moving parts out of the way, and don't paint any of the triggers or any other moving parts. That will gum up the works. I know that from experience. Strong Arm or Disruptor. Okay, so I think this Disruptor is probably more useful overall in its stock form, but you can't do a drop cylinder mob with it without extreme work. So, and my friend is going to be really annoyed at me for saying this, so I think I choose the Disruptor in stock form. Um, you probably could, but then you risk paint getting in the inside and gumming up the whole blaster. So I wouldn't recommend it. If you're nervous about pulling it apart, watch some tutorials about that specific blaster. Check how everything goes. All you'll need is a screwdriver. Unless it's an electrical blaster, then stay away from electrical blasters for your first mods. But then, if you want to paint them, you could hire someone. You could just do it yourself with enough tutorials. Even Nerf tutorials are not necessarily the best place to go for painting tutorials. Go to more cosplay and prop makers. Those guys know a lot about painting. Yeah, what's a Disruptor? It's a newer version of the Strong Arm, which is a newer version of the Maverick, which is a jewelry skin. Disruptor is a 6-round revolver with priming on the back there. Why do some darts fall out? That'd be because some darts would be older than others. Some have been used before. When using old darts, they can get smushed up. They can get all sorts of things happen to them. That's another advantage of Rival. They don't age like that. But if they're not all the same consistency as well. So you're still going to have a few millimeters of give. So they're going to have different FPS and range, all those sorts of things. And yeah, it is annoying, but there's not much you can do to fix that except go through all your darts, try and find them. Yes, darts do make a difference. So AccuStrike over regular Nerf darts, and I know they're super expensive, so you can get some Accu fakes from that place I mentioned earlier, Blaster Tech. Yes, they work if you align your thing correctly, but do not use them with a full breach. Their rubber heads are too thick and will catch on. Their rubber tips will catch on the breach and not usually, if it's long enough reach, not leave the barrel, or you get just highly decreased FPS. You probably could. You'd want a rounded file or a smooth file. Sorry, not a smooth file. You'd want a rounded but small-ish file. And there are specific tools you can also use to do it, and then you can. That is called deburrer, which makes sense. You stick it in there, twist it a bit, and then it should be good. Do I suggest any other nerfers? Ooh. Beret, if you want some laughs, he does some crazy videos. You get to choose his blaster for that month or week or whatever it is. Depends on the timing of this game. Sometimes the game's a month apart. Jangula's good, but he is not active right now. So if you want active nerfers, don't bother going to him right now. He should be active in a few months. Can Jolt blow up a car? I think I've seen a video of that somewhere, but don't try and do that. Just in case. Wait, let me check. I think I know someone's. No, I don't use that. I haven't made any brass breaches yet because, as I explained in my last video, I had an option of going brass breach, but the other one was cheaper for less work, so I didn't go with the brass breach. Plus, I can use a Dremel to do the same thing, and I've already got the tools, so it's not necessary. Give me 1 second. I'll just grab. The Dremel is a rotary tool, so it can have tons of different attachments. There are a few different types, but this is a Dremel. Plug it in, and a bunch of attachments go in the end. And it is really useful. It's a great multi-use tool. I would use that over one of those Swiss Army knives, whatever they're called, any day. Great. All right. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I can. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, it can cut metal and metals. I'll just go and get it again, since that was really Yeah, it can cut metal, and it will cut you as well. So be careful, wear gloves, all that sort of stuff, and especially safety glasses. I almost got hit in the eye several times. What's that on the end? That is the part which you connect into the other parts of the Dremel, which I don't have on me right now, but which I don't have on me right now, but. Give me 1 second. I just had an interloper enter. Anyway, on the end, it's a sport where you can attach different tools. I've got cutter wheels, similar to use on an angle grinder, but smaller in size. Grinding wheels. Who is that? An interloper. Let's just stick with that. And how was that? As I said, an interloper. Let's stick with that. Who? It was my mom. How many people are on here? How do we... 5. Hello, 5th person. Okay. No, I sad who? I don't know. Why are you sad? Why do we have 5 people on here now? Hello, 5th person. Alright, see you later. Thanks for watching. Alright. So, in the meantime, while we wait for more questions, I guess we can talk more about Nerf blasters, what the basic tools are and all of that sort of thing. So, I started off with just a couple of screwdrivers, a sharp knife, and no, that was actually about it. Maybe some pliers around the house. My first mod was a Maverick. Just give me 1 second. This thing. It's gotten crazier and crazier over the years, and it just has so many different things done to it. I put 5 cent coins in the back. I put drop cylinder mod, so now I can remove the cylinder from the blaster. I decided for some reason I would use Sharpie, and that's just a bad idea. Oh, hello, Young G. How are you today? There are other mods you can do to Mavericks. I love them. I love them over this. I love them over the new stuff. They're a lot better in my opinion. If you're having trouble going through Nerf blasters with a knife, heat it up using a candle, but be careful because heated knives are even more dangerous than non-heated knives, and you don't want that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good, but we don't disclose who people are on YouTube, Young G. We do not disclose that. Okay. That's funny as. Yeah, I do know who you are. Anyway, other things for basic Nerf tools, you probably want to get a Dremel is probably the first of the power tools you're going to want to get, since it can pretty much work in any case. Like you'll be able to use it for shell cutting, grinding. You'll be able to cut down breaches. You will be able to fix stuff, and it can have drill bits on it attached to it. Although not many sizes, that's limited. You can polish stuff. Also, is the Roto Fury good? It can be. The current one that I have been trying to work with is not. I need to get some new parts in for it if it's going to be fixed, and it's not priming at all. Is a Rhino Fire better than Vulcan? I would say the Vulcan would be more fun. I've played with the Rhino Fire. Didn't buy it because it apparently jams a lot. Seems to be the case with any double loading blaster that's magazine fed. So I would say no, because the Vulcan's chain fed and that's just super fun. But as far as range goes, probably if you really wanted it to, it would go way farther than a Vulcan. Yeah, I'm playing some Space Engineers. I play some Forts. It's this battle game. You got to get two teams opposing each other. It's sort of like a combination of Worms and don't know, Worms and this other game. You fire cannons at each other as you build your base, and it's not turn-based, so it's really fun. And for some Roblox, I play that a lot with my brothers. It's fun. Is X-Shot a good idea? Their new blasters are getting better all the time. My favorite of their new line happens to be the Vigilante. It's got a massive plunder tube, almost as big as the Kronos, which is another Nerf rival blaster. In its top form, it doesn't have much power, but it's a really fun break action blaster. So yeah, X-Shot is a good idea, especially with Nerf's current prices. Although they don't have any auto blasters, so if you're looking for that, go Nerf or Vigilant. I don't think so. No. Dart-wise, as in between X-Shot and Nerf? Or do you mean just in general? Okay. So between Nerf and X-Shot, X-Shot's a lot cheaper. It seems more accurate, and it happens to be like probably 5 cents dart instead of about I'd say 10 to 20 cents a dart, which is really expensive. I would say X-Shot, except that some blasters can't accept them, so be careful when buying them. What new videos am I thinking of putting on my channel? I'm thinking of putting on Space Engineers series. I tried putting up one earlier, but there's a couple of glitches with my recording software, and then it failed halfway through the video, so that wasn't good. But I'm thinking of doing that. I'm soon thinking about putting up some stuff on Lightsaber and LARP builds, so this is just the start of a handle, just a pipe for now, but I can change that no time. So yeah, what would you like to see on the channel? Lego. Oh yeah, Lego Roblox. Okay, got some Lego and Roblox requests. So there's more stop motions, more what, and what type of Roblox? We've got about 2 million games on there now. Would you like more mocks? What would you think? Which one? Real life videos of my crazy life, so more of long videos and stop motion. Okay. Any Roblox at all? So you'll just watch any Roblox at all. That's not helpful. Okay, but the other two were. That's funny as. Oh, no. What about vlogging? I don't know. I don't feel like that's a good option due to school and work and all that sort of thing. But I could probably do some vlogging of light. Just while I'm doing modding. I don't know. Yeah, it probably would be pretty cool. You know? Yeah, I could. Hmm. Oh. What is more powerful, X Shot or Nerf? Stock form or modded? Stock form or modded? Well, I don't have any stock X Shot blasters to test right now, but you can vlog your trips out of Australia. Okay. X Shot or Nerf? I would say. I would have to say that modded easily nerf. X-Shot blasters are only just starting to get the plastic strength that you need to be able to handle any form of modding, which is why I only just picked one up recently. And I've never seen one go even close to the power the Nerf blasters have. Nerf blasters have reached 700 FPS, some even faster, I believe. So FPS is feet per second, and I could vlog my trips out of Australia or in. Okay. How did you know I was in Australia? No, just kidding. Of course, got the location software. Make it a special thing for you. Okay, I'll think about it, young G. Oh man. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Should I do more live streams? This is a question for you guys instead, since you guys aren't asking me. I'm thinking of getting some new channel logos. Anything big other than that? You think the young viewers onto something? Okay, so we got a couple of viewers that think that's a good idea. Anything big planned for my channel? Got a couple more builds coming up. Don't know what counts as big, like changing the channel's format or what. Like I'd probably do some more of that Earth versus Star Destroyer series. And yeah, can do more live streams. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we don't have much time left, but do you happen to have any more questions before I go? All right. I guess see everybody and have a good time. See ya.